So I start?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Everybody is
Lovely.
waiting.
Lovely.
More than 8,000 people are watching you live.
Oh, that's fantastic. Hello, 8,000 people. Nice to be here. Thank you very much, Megha ji. I'm so happy to be here. I have no clue what was said just before this, so I don't know if I've been introduced or not. My name is Avinash Ananda. In fact, I was waiting to come on live, which is why, and I couldn't hear anything here. And I was watching these lovely people playing the guitar and singing and things like that, dancing. So I got out of this whole thing and I went into Facebook and I was watching it like a participant. See, the topic that I've taken on today is recharge yourself for happiness. Now, I'm very happy to be here. First of all, I'd like to share that with you because RYLA is something that I attended when I was a kid. And I still remember the fantastic experiences that I had over there. And also I remember some of the speakers who made a lasting impact on my life. In fact, I remember one of the speakers had said, I had asked a question. I said that, what is the end result? I mean, what is it that everybody wants finally? Is it success? Because he said you should put a ladder and go to the top of the ladder. So I said, what happens if you reach the top of the ladder? He said, put one more ladder. So that little statement triggered something in me, and I kept searching for what is beyond all the ladders. Finally, where are we headed? What is it that is my purpose on this planet? And then I found it, and I've dedicated my entire life to studying this phenomenon called happiness. I have a friend of mine who's in Chicago. He was the vice president of performance measurement in a company called Accenture. And I met him and I asked him, he has a PhD in measurement. He measures everything. I said, my God. Huh? So I asked him, I said that, can happiness be measured? So he said, if it exists, it can be measured. Anything that exists can be measured. I said, great. I know it exists. You know it can be measured. Let's work on it. So we started some work on that. The focus today is recharge yourself for happiness. And I'm going to, in order to put some kind of a structure on it, I will focus on these three things: recharge yourself and happiness. But the main key focus will be on happiness. And happiness I've made into an acronym where H is for harmony, A is for awareness, P is for positivity, P is for playful purposefulness, I is for inclusiveness, N is for nowness, E is for excellence, S is for skills, and S is for success. All of these things comprise happiness. I will go through each one of these as fast as I can, keeping it as non-theoretical as possible and as happy an experience as possible. Let me begin with a story, please. This story is about about Zen. Have you heard of Zen? Zen is a form of Mahayana Buddhism. See, everything originally comes from India. You've had two great speakers before me, and Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai must have spoken to you about, given you many Sanskrit terms and spoken to you about Indian culture. You had Avi Arya who was talking to you about how to be out there and use social media well. So what I'm going to talk about today is bringing all of these things together and how to recharge yourself for happiness. Zen comes from Dhyan. Dhyan is a Sanskrit word. You know what it means, right? Concentration, focus, meditation. Dhyan got exported and went to China, and the brand name changed. It became Chand. Then Chand went from there and went to Japan, and there the name became Zen. So Zen is originally Dhyan from India. Zen got exported again from there. Some American guy liked Zen and he went there and he wrote a book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which became an international bestseller. The guy who authored it is a guy called Robert Pirsig. Basically, he made it very simple. See, Americans love to simplify things. Americans love to, and they're also excellent at packaging things and marketing it to the rest of the world. So this book became an international bestseller in India. Because in India, nobody will go and learn the Dhyan, But when it comes from abroad, it's nicely packaged, then people pay in dollars for it, okay? So the story is about an American Zen master who is a self-styled guru. He read some books and made some brochures, and he called himself a Zen master. The American Zen master hears that a Japanese Zen master has come to town. So an original Zen guru from Japan goes to America, and the American Zen master goes to check him out. So many people, when they go to attend conferences or when they go to attend programs, they go to check it out. So this guy went like this. He sat like this, crossed arm and crossed leg. You can't see my leg, but you can see the knee. Yeah. So like this, he sat and he said, you call yourself a master. Teach me something. Come on, teach me. So very often we sit like this, or at least in our minds, and we say, okay, you're going to teach me something. Teach me. See, from a non-verbal communication point of view, this is one of the most defensive postures. So anybody sitting like this is absolutely closed. Now it's even more difficult with all this online stuff going on, so many webinars. I had a joke, somebody said that there are so many webinars, I feel like Spider-Man. So, or it's so easy when people go for online things, they can switch themselves off, they can go and have a cup of coffee, they can, come back after an hour and the speaker doesn't even know that the person is there or not there, okay? So the American guy, he sits like this and says, teach me what you can teach me. The Japanese master smiles. See, there are two types of people on this planet who smile a lot. One is masters because they know everything. Second is idiots because they know nothing. Most of us are not like that. We're somewhere in between, right? So this guy was a master. He smiled. And he started pouring him a cup of tea. So imagine this. There is a table. There is a tablecloth. And on that, there is an empty saucer. There is an empty cup. And there is a kettle full of tea. The Japanese Zen master picks up the kettle full of tea and starts pouring it into the empty cup. He pours it in all this while the guy is sitting like this, saying that, oh, this guy is giving me tea. The guy pours the tea into the cup and he continues pouring even after the cup is full. And he continues pouring. The tea falls from the cup onto the saucer, falls from the saucer on the table on the floor. The guy continues pouring. The American guy who's sitting like this jumps up. He says, what kind of master are you? Can't you see the cup is full? The Japanese master smiles. He says, your mind is like that. It is full. So no matter what I put in it, it will fall out. The first thing you need to do is empty your cup. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and soon to be friends, empty your cup. Because I'm going to pour something fantastic into it right now. And wherever you go, whoever you go to listen to, go with an open mind. That's the first thing. So let's start with talking about harmony. H for harmony. The question is, how can you recharge yourself and how can you be constantly recharged with happiness? I want to tell you something about happiness. Happiness is of two types. One is the happiness that needs recharging. The second is the happiness that remains with you. So one is like the waves of the ocean. That's kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Sometimes up, sometimes down. You have joy, you have sadness. Life is like that. In fact, if you did not have sadness, you would not even know what is joy because there's nothing to compare it to. So that is the waves of the ocean. And then there's the bedrock of the ocean. The bedrock of the ocean is when certain mindsets and certain skill sets have become so much a part of your being that you don't even have to remind yourself to be happy, and you carry this aura of happiness wherever you go. It doesn't matter that the khushi and gum or the sadness and the happiness, it doesn't mean that it will stop. As long as you are living on this planet, there will always be emotions. That's what makes us human. But it will go up and down, but not beyond a point. There's resolve. There is resilience. We bounce back faster. We don't remain there. We don't remain down for longer. And we go down less in the sense of the term of being up, meaning being happy, and down being sad. So the happiness that I'm talking to you about is about building the bedrock so strong that at your being level, you are more happy. There are ways to recharge yourself whenever you're feeling down. There are many ways. So, one of the groups of people who I addressed were the monks at the Dalai Lama temple. I was invited to give a talk to the Dalai Lama monks on teaching them happiness. Now, these are the guys who teach the whole world how to be happy. And I'm given the hardest nuts to crack, I remember there was a time in America, in Oakland, California, I was put in front of religious heads. There were imams and Buddhist monks, and there were Hindu priests, and there were bishops and all these guys sitting there, each of them had their own temple and church, and I had to talk to them about happiness. And they're spreading happiness all over the world. The point I'm making here is that we had great fun with the Dalai Lama monks. I asked them a simple question. I said, you teach happiness to everybody all over the world, but tell me one thing. You are happy sitting here in the Himalayas. Will you be happy if you come to Mumbai? I'm from Mumbai. Right now I'm locked down in Bangalore, which was my place of birth, and which is also where I attended my RYLA program. I asked them, I said, you are happy sitting in the Himalayas, but if you come to Mumbai, and if you were to get married, for example, if you had a boss or if you had a business and you had to travel to work every day and you had to face the traffic and all the other challenges that every human being normally faces, then would you be happy? That's the kind of happiness that people are looking for. So you have that inner world happiness, but what about the outer world happiness? And what about, can you be happy even living with human beings who may, for lack of a better term, I call them psycho-vampires. You know what a vampire is? They take out the blood. Psycho-vampires, they drain the energy. There are some people who are psycho-vampires, and I strongly suggest you don't be one of them. Okay? Look at yourself. See that when people look at you walking, if they see you from far away, do they come forward to say hi to you? And do they feel good by meeting you? Or do they try to avoid you? There are some people we avoid, there's some people we like to meet. So can we be a person who has happiness from inside, and that happiness spreads everywhere around us, so the environment around us also becomes happy? That is the happiness that I'm talking about. That is the positive energy that I'm talking about, which I've broken down into this acronym, with H being harmony. Put your hands together, please. I know I cannot see you do this, but put your hands together, please. I know you don't have the rings, but that's okay. But if you put your hands together here and repeat after me, say, I feel what I feel. Okay, so this stands for feeling. I'm just sharing with you a model of our faculties of human beings. So I feel what I feel. I think what I think. I say what I say. I do what I do. I want what I want. So look at what I've done over here. I've said, what does every human being do? Every human being, it's like the notes of music. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, do re mi fa sol la ti do, right? Or you have, for example, zeros and ones, which are the unit of the machine language. So like that, if you have to boil it down to what are the faculties of a human being, every human being wants something. Every human being feels something. Every human being thinks something, says something, does something. And this is wanting, feeling, thinking, saying, doing. Because I don't have a sixth finger, I put it here. This is knowing. These are 6 faculties of human beings. The point I'm making is that if these faculties are in harmony, you will be happy. I want to give you something you've probably not heard anywhere before, but something that's practical. So if I put your hands together like this, I say, I feel what I feel, I think what I think, I say what I say, I do what I do, I want what I want. Now, most people want something else, feel something else, think something else, say something else, do something completely different. That's inner civil war. When there is this conflict inside, you cannot be happy. Okay. So what do I mean by this? For example, how many of you want to be very successful in life? Just say yes, okay? I can't hear you, man. You can just say it wherever you are. Say yes. So how many of you want to be very successful in life? Say yes. Now, tell me, how many of you are a little lazy? You can say yes, okay? How many of you tend to procrastinate? Whatever you know you should do, you don't do it. If you're supposed to study, you wait till the last minute and you study. Whereas you already know that if you study regularly, everything will be okay. The point I'm making here is that, thank you, Shagupta. The point I'm making here is that you must please bridge the know-do gap. Know is what you know, do is what you do. How many of you know that eating good food is healthy? How many of you know that? Of course you know that. How many of you do it? See? How many of you know that it's best to study throughout the year and not to cram everything at the last minute? Okay? How many of you do it? So my point is that we know many things. It's not about training. It's not about learning new things. It's about not doing what we know. Let me give you another example. How many of you would love to be very successful, make lots of money, and live in a beautiful, fancy place? How many would like to do that? Yeah, you say yeah, of course. Now, how many of you would love to chill by the beach? Just relax, have a chilled out life, have a cool life with not too much responsibility and just living your life, bumming it out. Okay. The point here again is, how can you have both? I mean, unless you start a business from the beach, I don't know what kind of business you start. Online now is possible, I guess. You've got to have internet connectivity. The point, you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that there has to be alignment. The science which I draw all my work from is a science called Metamind Alignment, which was created by me. It's a system of human transformation created by me and Varsha. Varsha is an educationist, a psychotherapist, an instructional designer. So we put together this. We researched about 450 different sources, from religion to psychology to neurosciences to behavioral economics to all kinds of things, because we wanted to see what really works. The idea came to me because I was a faculty of a program for a Harvard Business School certification program for senior managers, where we created that. I was part of creating that entire program and delivering it. And then I came across a person called Dr. Nitin Nohoria. Dr. Nitin Nohoria was the dean of Harvard Business School, and he wrote a paper called What Really Works. His concept was this, and I loved it, because he said, everybody's writing books, everybody's doing seminars, everybody's becoming a guru. Who should I listen to? If I listen to the Babas and the gurus, they say, stop ichha chhod do, stop wanting. If you don't have desires, you will be happy. If I go to a motivational guy, he's saying set goals. So what should I do? Okay? There's too much information, too little wisdom. Okay? That's why Dr. Nitin Nohoria came up with this, saying that, for example, Tom Peters was a management guru who many, many years back wrote a book called In Search of Excellence, where he interviewed different people who were supposed to be excellent companies at that time, and what are the characteristics that make them excellent. Now, Tom Peters became very successful as a management guru, but these companies that he interviewed, the owners, the companies went down in about another 15 years. Okay, so Nitin Nohoria wanted to see what really works in the long term. So similarly, we launched a separate study in my organization which we created and called Metamind Alignment, where we wanted to see what really works for an individual to be happy. And I'm sharing with you a little bit from that. One thing I say is harmony. When I say harmony, for example, I asked the question, how many of you believe in loyalty to a spouse? I know you're not married, but but you understand the concept? Monogamy. Monogamy means having only one partner of the opposite sex or same sex, if you're like that. But having only one partner. So some people in my audience, this was in the audience in France, okay, corporate executives. Just all the hands went up. Yeah, we believe in monogamy. We believe in loyalty to one person. So I said, how many of you get attracted to other people from different, other than one person? So then some of them sheepishly raised the hand. Some of them proudly raised the hand. I said, what happened? He said, listen, man, I may feel attracted to somebody else, but I don't do anything. The point is that you're feeling, saying, doing, wanting, everything has to be aligned. You have to be able to face yourself in the mirror and be okay with yourself. You have to be okay with your values. That's what I'm talking about, harmony. Put your hands together again. I'll show you what I mean. I feel, try and say this with me, okay? I feel what I think. I think what I say. I say what I do. I do what I want. Okay? I do what I say. Think about it. If you do what you say, you have integrity. You're a professional. Okay? You are not telling lies, because those people who tell lies get very stressed because they have to remember what lies they told. Those people who tell the truth, they don't even have to remember. They can just be relaxed. I think before I say. Oh, it can solve so many problems. Okay. And my feeling and my thinking are friends, because I know what I want. Sometimes, so again, one more time, just for fun. I feel what I think what I do what I say what I feel what I... You cannot do what I do, but you understand what I'm saying, or you feel what I feel. I am saying be one person. Be in alignment with yourself. Which is more powerful, feeling or thinking? Which is more powerful? Which is more powerful? Tell me. Tell me. I'll give you another analogy. Let's say you have an elephant, okay? Not you have an elephant. Let's say there's an elephant. If there's an elephant, And if there is, so Shagufta says feeling. See, I cannot see much that comes on here. I can just see one or two lines. I would love it if I could hear people talk. If whoever is coordinating this, Mega G, if there's somebody who wants to talk in between, I'm absolutely okay with it. Don't worry about disturbing my train of thought. I don't have one. I'm just here to cover these points of the acronym and cover the time that you're giving me, right? So, elephant. Who is more powerful? Listen to this question. Who is more powerful? Is the elephant more powerful or a mahout? You know the mahout? Mahout is the rider of the elephant. The guy who's riding the elephant, who's trained to ride the elephant. Is that guy, the rider, more powerful or is the elephant more powerful? Please give me your answers if you can text and put it over here. Some people will say elephant, some people will say rider, and some people will say both. And I will ask a question, why? Why do you say the elephant is more powerful? Why do you say the rider is more powerful? Some people will say elephant is more powerful because it's big, it has physical strength. Other people will say the rider is more powerful because it can control the elephant. Let me tell you something. If the elephant goes crazy, okay, no matter how good the rider can control the rider has lost his control because the elephant has taken over. Now, the analogy is this, guys, please understand. The elephant I'm using as an example for the heart. The rider, I'm using an analogy for the mind or for logic and emotions, if you want to simplify it and be more specific. The brain, why is the brain a brain? Apart from it being a little structure in the head, it has neurons. There are a cluster of neurons which communicate with each other. There's electrical impulses that happen and there's constant communication. That's what makes a brain a brain. Now, research has proven, Institute of Heart Math in California has found out, and studies have been done, that there is a cluster of neurons in the heart also. So which means even the heart has a brain. Okay? And we say, no, we feel something. Okay? Our feeling is, I don't like this guy. I like that guy. Huh? Or I feel good with this person. I don't feel so good with that. It's a feeling. So the heart has a brain. There is further studies done at Harvard University, where the medical college, where they say even in the stomach there is a cluster of neurons, and that's called the gut feeling. Huh? And if you look in ancient Indian philosophy as well as medicine, Ayurveda and stuff, a lot of focus is on the stomach. In Ayurveda, for example, no matter what your illness, first they will tell you go clear your stomach, okay? Because they believe that's the seat of all the mess, and health. But we won't go any lower. Let's go up to the heart. The point is this, that the heart, the brain in the heart, the cluster of neurons in the heart, they generate 5,000 times more electrical energy than the cluster of neurons in the brain, which means this is much more powerful in physical terms than this. So the elephant is much more powerful in physical terms than this. The job of the logic is to keep the emotions in check so that you can somehow function in this society, okay, or amongst people. And also the job of the, but the job of the mind is obviated or eliminated if the heart goes crazy. Well, in the sense that if you all know that when you get angry, there's no logic. Later, when you calm down, even you can give a lecture that, oh, we should not get angry. But at that moment, gone. So, managing that. So, when there is a clash between the feeling and the thinking, it's very important that you are able to master your feelings enough, and there are ways to do that, so that you shut your feeling and go with your thinking depending on what you want. Or you shut your thinking and go with your feeling. For example, you want to eat an ice cream, and your tooth is not, or there's a problem, and you're not supposed to eat ice cream. But you know what's the worst thing that will happen? You'll feel better, but you'll have to work a little harder, maybe to exercise or whatever. It's okay, do it. The point I'm making is that please be in charge. If you want to recharge yourself, you need to be in charge of yourself. And everything that you learn has to be learned in order to take charge of yourself. So, harmony in your faculties, harmony in your wanting, feeling, thinking, saying, doing, knowing. This is one. The second thing is harmony in your verbal and non-verbal communication. You remember I spoke to you about the Dalai Lama monks. What happens is that most people have problems in relationships, or people misunderstanding them. But you have to align. So I'm talking harmony, alignment. Align your verbal and non-verbal communication. Suppose I was to come in front of you and I was to go like this. Ladies and gentlemen. Suppose I stood like this. I'm not standing. I'm sitting right now. Ladies and gentlemen, in my humble opinion, happiness, no problem. Now, what is the word I'm using? Humble. What is this body language? Arrogant as hell. So whenever there's a clash between verbal and non-verbal communication, people instinctively believe non-verbal communication. If you were to stand in front of somebody and say, I am very confident. You look confident? Not at all. Oh, it's very exciting. I'm very enthusiastic. Whenever there is a clash between verbal and non-verbal, people will misunderstand you. Suppose somebody tells you, can I trust you? Will you do the job? You say, what should you say? You should say yes, right? But yes should be looking in the eyes of the person, smiling or being straight and saying yes with open body language. But if you look at the person and say, yes, you can trust me. No problem, trust me. What is this message you're giving? So alignment has to be there even in your verbal and non-verbal communication. Number one, alignment in your faculties. Number two, alignment in your verbal, non-verbal communication. Number one, alignment within yourself. Do you know what you want to do in life? Can you figure that out? Can you match or align your passion, your talents to your purpose, to the market potential, to the possibilities that you may have? Okay? Map all of this. So it needs to go through a process, because you cannot have Lata Mangeshkar playing cricket or Sachin Tendulkar singing a song, regardless of how sweet his voice is. Each one of us has that talent inside us that is yearning for expression. You must find that. But you must also find, even if you have some great passion, is there a market for it? Is there a market potential for it? Will somebody pay you for it? Or should you keep it as a hobby and do something else? These are the things that you need to align also. So align your values to your vision, align your vision to your capabilities, and align your capabilities to your execution. This entire alignment I call will, skill, and thrill, which is from Metamind Alignment. All I'm saying is, to make it simple, be yourself. Okay, so what do you mean be yourself? There was one guy, young guy, came to me. See, I work with many young people. I work with many old people who think they are young, and I work with many young people also who act old sometimes. So this one guy told me, smart guy. He was in one of my programs. See, I'm not used to this online thing. For me, it's adaptation. I've been doing it for the last 2 months. I'm used to face-to-face interactions with people. So I love it when there's interaction. This guy told me, he said, Avi, my name is Avi, the other guy's name was also Avi, but I'm Avinash Ananda. So he says, Avi, sir, he tells me. I said, what? He said, you tell me, be yourself. You always teach. I said, of course, I believe you should be yourself. He says, but you also tell me that you have to play the game with the rules of that game so that you win that game. I said, yes, I also say that. How can you do both? He asked me. I said, what do you mean? He said, see, this is the problem. This young guy, he had just got out of college and just started working. So he told me, he said, I like to abuse. He tells me, see, I don't do too much judgment. I take it for what it is, and I understand what the problem is, and I look at how to solve it. So he said, I like to abuse. Now, if you say be yourself, you mean I can abuse? If I go to my office, I can abuse my boss? Is that be yourself? I said, dude, understand what I say. Go a little deeper. Tell me, who do you abuse with? Who do you like to abuse with? He says, I generally use a few abusive words with my friends. I said, okay, do you use those words in front of your parents? He says, no way. I said, do you use the words anywhere else? He said, no. I said, then understand that the abuse is not you. It is something that you like because you have got used to doing. And that is something that you are doing with a certain group of people. And that is part of your system, which is, it's a role you are playing. Shakespeare said, every one of us plays a role on this world stage. So we all play different roles. Like, for example, right now I'm playing the role of a speaker. Tomorrow you play the role of a speaker. Tomorrow I play the role of a listener, or I play the role of a brother, you may play the role of sister or father or mother or whatever. I hope none of you are fathers and mothers, unless you're that age. The point I'm making is that everybody has different roles that they play in life. Don't confuse the role with the person. And remember, every role has some rules. For example, if you go to work, ask yourself, why are you working in this job? Are you working for getting some experience? Are you working because you want to get the salary at the end of the month? Are you working because you want to learn new things? Are you working because this is a stepping stone to something bigger that you want in life? Get clear. Get clear about where you are going, why you are doing what you are doing, and then play the rules, play the game by their rules. So, for example, if you work in a bank, you have to wear a tie and you have to wear the right kind of. But if you work in Google, or if you work in an advertising agency, you can go in shorts and chappals and you can have long hair and all the crazy things you want. It depends on where you are playing the game and whose rules are you playing by. So either you play by the rules because you want something from. If you want experience working in a bank or working in a corporate organization, then you play by their rules. Don't say, oh, I'm feeling really bad that I have to. The guy says, I like to wear torn jeans. Can I wear torn jeans to work? I said, sure, if you work in an ad agency, no problem. Can I abuse my boss? So yeah, in advertising agencies, sometimes the bosses also abuse each other, right? So you have to choose your environment where you want to work. And you have to pay the price. Sometimes you have to stop doing something that you normally do because that's not the right thing to do in that environment. In front of parents, you need to show respect. In front of friends, you can be a little bit more casual. In front of boss, you need to be a little different. You are not different. You are playing these roles. Personality comes from persona. Persona is mask in Greek. We put on a face for the faces we meet, but we keep our own face intact. Know who you are. This is yourself. Let's go to A of happiness, which is awareness. Awareness, I want to share with you. You need to first know yourself. So this be yourself, I'm bringing it into know yourself. Remember that if you want to do something that you've never done before, you've got to be someone you've never been before. Write some of these things down, man. At the end of the whole thing, you'll get at least something to write down. Yeah. Another thing I tell you about being yourself and knowing yourself, don't try to please everybody. Don't try to fit into every group, and just to make friends, you start smoking and start doing things that you don't want to do. Don't do what you don't want to do just to fit into a crowd, please. Because pleasing everybody is a psychological dead end. And finally, if you start pleasing everybody, it's like that guy. One guy set up a business in a village, and he put up a signboard that said, fresh fish sold here. And he had fish over there. He opened a business for the first time. One guy walked by, he said, very good, you started a business, but why you write fresh fish sold here? I mean, it's obvious that it is fresh. Nobody will sell fish that is old or stale, so remove that fresh. So he said, good advice, he removed the fresh. So it only said fish sold here. Another guy came by, he says, very good, you started a business, but you say fish sold here? Tell me something, Where else will it be sold? It's obvious that you are selling it here. Why you have that word here? Remove it, remove it. So they say, remove that word also. Now he had only one thing, fish sold. Another guy came by, he said, very good, you started a new business. But tell me something, why you say fish sold? Are you giving free? Obviously you are selling, you are doing business. Remove that sold. He removed the sold. Then finally there was just one thing, it said fish. Another guy said, he said, what's wrong with you? Why you have fish? I can see fish. There's fish. I mean, we are not stupid. Remove that fish. So he removed the fish. There was an empty board over there. Another guy said, why are you wasting space with empty board? Remove that. He removed that also. If you listen to everybody, you will go mad. Choose your gurus. Choose your mentors. You can have different mentors for different subjects. But remember, never go to a fat dietitian. I can take any questions. Yes, please. Go ahead. Anytime you want to ask a question, please go ahead. I will tell you whether I'll answer at that time or not. Okay. Awareness is know yourself. And the way to ask a question is to please come on with your voice, please. Because the reading, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Greetings. I hope you're doing fine.
Fantastic. What's your name?
So my name is Shagufta.
Hi, Shagufta. Thank you, Shagufta, for going on keeping the whole thing alive by saying something all the time, even in the text message. Go ahead, please.
No problem, sir. So you spoke about pleasing everybody, and you spoke about the need to also please yourself and not always focus on pleasing others, right? So, sir, but a lot of times leadership is actually about pleasing other people, right? You need to make people happy. You need to reaffirm the faith and trust that they have in you. So, how do we deal with that? How do we try to balance these things?
Okay, lovely question, Shagufta. Thank you very much for your question. See, there are two separate things. Huh? You spoke about leadership and you spoke about pleasing people. Huh? In leadership, you have to deliver on what you promise. You have to influence people. See, I'll just simplify for lack of time. And I'd like so please, Meghaji, to let me know about the time, because I could go on for hours and hours. So you have to tell me when the time is over for me, huh? Or how much time is left. Shagufta, leadership is influence. Huh? A leader basically plays 6 roles. Huh? A leader, he inspires hearts. Hi, Shagufta. Inspires hearts. Huh? A leader ignites minds. Huh? A leader influences behavior. A leader impacts results, and a leader integrates energies. Okay? All of these things that a leader does, and I said only 5, that's okay. The point I'm making is, one word for leadership is influence. If a leader can influence other people in a way that inspires them to work with him and they get aligned in one direction, that requires skill. That's not about pleasing somebody. If a leader becomes a people pleaser, he will never be a leader. He will be more of a follower. So what we need to learn is, first of all, we need to start with awareness, which is where I am right now. I'm saying you need to know yourself. You need to know your objective. You need to know how to get there. And then you need to be able to use your skills to be able to take you from one place to another place. And also take the people along with you. A leader wins hearts, for example. Huh? A leader cannot force people to do stuff. A leader should not piss people off, or should not antagonize people, if you want a better word. Huh? But at the same time, it is not about pleasing everybody. Winning someone's heart is not about pleasing them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right. The second thing about awareness that I'd like to share, guys, the first thing about awareness was know yourself. The second thing about awareness that I'd like to share is learn everything from everywhere. Don't be choosy. Don't be picky. In today's day and age, things are changing so fast. Knowledge is becoming outdated and you need to be updated. So when there is downtime, you need to use that downtime to upskill so that you can break through when there is a turnaround. Okay? Use your downtime to upskill so you can break through when there is a turnaround, which simply means when you have more time, learn more things. Okay? Don't be picky. Don't be choosy, because you never know which subject will be used where. Steve Jobs learned calligraphy. Did you think about it? In his college days, and that calligraphy came in handy for him when he made the iPhone, or the whole focus was on style, no? And that happened just because he did a course in calligraphy. While he was doing that course, he had no clue that he's going to use it there. Steve Jobs came to India and learned meditation, and that whole idea of simplicity of whole of Apple products came in with that guy over there. The point I'm making is that you never know what you learn from where, which can be used where else. Today is the day of differentiation. Today is the day of mixed martial arts. Learn different things and put them together, create something new of your own. Keep learning. There was this one guy who was very thirsty. He was in the desert and he was very thirsty. He didn't have water like I have. He had money in his pocket. He walked and walked and walked in the desert. Suddenly he saw one guy on a camel and he felt very happy because he had money. He thought the guy on the camel has a lot of luggage with him, so he can go to him, pay him money and get some water. He goes to him. He says, "Can I get some water? I'll give you money." The guy on the camel says, No, I don't have any water, but I'm a seller of ties. I sell ties and I can sell you a tie. Would you like to buy this tie? It's beautiful silk tie, lovely. He says, "Man, I don't want your ties. I want water." He said, "Listen, do you want a discount? I will give you 3 ties for the price of 2, and look at the colors I have." You say, are you what's wrong with you, man? I don't want your ties. I want water. He says, he got fed up. The guy went away, and this guy kept looking for more water. He kept looking for water in the desert. He saw another guy on a camel. He goes up to him, very excited, very thirsty. And he says, "I hope you are not like that other joker who was selling ties." He said, "You met my competitor? Huh? What offer did he give you? I will give you a better offer. See, my ties are even better quality. I will give you better discount. He said, man, I don't want your ties. What's wrong with these people in the desert selling ties all the time? I want water. He says, no, I'm sorry, I don't have water. The guy goes away. Another 2 hours later, this is just a story, okay? In the middle of the desert, he sees a restaurant. He's very excited because he knows there will be water or something to drink in the restaurant. He's got money in his pocket. He goes there, but there are security guards outside. Bouncers were standing there with the sign which says, sorry, sir, you cannot enter if you are not wearing a tie. So the tie is required for entry into the restaurant to get the water. But at the time when you don't know that, when you get the tie, you say, I don't want it. There are many things that we don't want to learn when life presents us an opportunity, because we feel, why should we learn this? It's not going to help us. Why should we learn that? It's not going to help us. Have you heard of this person called Tilly Smith? Tilly Smith was a young girl, 10-year-old girl. She just learned something in geography about tsunamis. And she learned that the sign that a tsunami is going to happen is when the waves recede, and there were some particular signs. So she went with her family to Thailand for a holiday. She's a 10-year-old kid, and she saw those same signs on the beach over there, and she went in, and as a result of that lesson that she learned, she saved over 100 lives. This was the earthquake of 2004. The point I'm making is that learn. Be a sponge. And today the superpower is how to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is about developing your awareness. Okay. Another thing, last thing about developing your awareness, see reality as it is and be objective. It's very often that we get completely into a particular situation and we get obsessive about it. Don't get obsessive. Don't get compulsive. Get objective. Have what Krishna called in Bhagavad Gita, Drashta Bhav or Sakshi Bhav, which means get out of the situation and look at the situation. If you look at the situation from outside, even you can solve it much easier. If you're completely involved in it, it hurts more, and it also becomes difficult to solve a situation. So when you're going through something, if you see two people who are very emotional, the moment one person gets out of it and looks at it from outside, they're able to handle the situation better. This is called objectivity. All right. So what I shared with you is about learning. I say keep learning. It is better to prepare and prevent rather than repair and repent. Okay. So collect more information, gather more, keep your eyes open, be curious, keep learning, develop your awareness, please. This is about A. H is for harmony, A is for awareness. Yes, please.
So we have a question from one of our viewers. So how do we balance this? We don't want, you of course have heard of the proverb, curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
Now, how do we try to balance this? Not being too curious or not being as inquisitive about ourselves and about life. So how do we try to balance these?
Curiosity must have killed a cat, but are you a cat is my question. No, the point is that many people don't like you being too curious about them. In which case, disguise it. Don't be too intrusive. But curiosity is fantastic. I mean, curiosity may have killed the cat, but curiosity made Einstein. Curiosity, but satisfaction brought lovely, beautiful. This is great. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Wow. And the cat has 9 lives anyway, man. What are you worried about, huh? The idea is... Sorry. Somebody said something. No, it's okay. You are not a cat, nor are you a rat. So don't be in a rat race. Hey, you know what this reminds me of? I'll tell you a quick story, okay? It's about belief systems. You know, we're talking about people say this, should I do it or should I not do it? It's about belief systems. There was this guy, he was going through 10 years of psychiatric treatment because he thought he was a mouse. Okay, it's just a joke. You just understand this, huh? But understand the message behind my jokes, please. Some of you are not interested in the message, just enjoy the joke. Those of you who are interested in the message, please remember it and understand it. This guy was going through psychiatric treatment for 10 years, going to a doctor because he believed that he was a mouse. The doctor wanted to give him confidence. No, you are not a mouse. Like I said, you're not a cat. So after 10 years, success. He said, very good. He said, do you believe you are not a mouse? He said, yes, I believe I'm not a mouse. He said, do you know you are not a mouse? He said, yes, I know what I'm not a mouse. You know the difference between know and believe? We can talk about that sometime. Then he said, okay, thank you, doctor. Bye-bye. And he walks out of the doctor's clinic. And as he walks out, he runs back in. He said, doctor says, what happened? He says, see, there was a cat in the corridor. The doctor says, oh my God, man, you just now told me that you know that you are not a mouse. So the guy said, he said, listen, doctor, you know I'm not a mouse. I know I'm not a mouse, but does the cat know? Huh? Maybe he doesn't know. So doubts is what stops you. If you are complete, if you're 100% in whatever you do, even in your curiosity, you will be fantastic. Unless you are curious, unless you are open, unless you want to learn, unless you want to absorb like a sponge, how will it work? The problem may be that some people who don't know the answers will tell you, shut up. You know, why some people generally tend to say, don't ask me any questions while I'm talking, huh? Or don't do this. Huh? So the reason for this, so Vega says we've crossed 9,000 people mark. 9,000 people, how are you? Thank you. But I'm talking to you, each one of you individually who's interested. The idea is that you must be yourself. You must learn. You must grow. That's the only way. Don't be dogmatic about your beliefs. And don't take beliefs from other people just because they're telling you. Apply your mind. Be curious. Understand why they're saying what they're saying. Sometimes there's no time to understand. At that point of time, please trust. See, you have to believe. You have to believe yourself. If you don't believe yourself, believe something somebody is saying who you trust, or believe your logic. But believe something, because if you don't believe anything, you will be lost. So my suggestion for the curious people is, please go ahead and be curious. Hide your curiosity a little bit from people who are a little bit private or who don't know the answers. But you keep seeking. Without seeking, there is no finding. It has to be done. So, but what I'm saying is, please see if you can differentiate between reality and assumption. When you assume it is ASS, you and me, you make an ass of you and me if you split up the word. So it's important to understand reality. Positive thinking is great, but don't be like an ostrich who put their head in the ground and say there is no storm, there is no storm. Don't be an idiot who goes out on the road and without wearing a mask and saying, no, there is no corona, there is no corona. Please, you must be careful, but at the same time, don't be paranoid. Don't stop living your life. You have to be like a lotus in a muddy pond. The pond is muddy, but the lotus is unaffected. That is what I'm talking about when I say objectivity. This is what I say when I say, see the reality, see the possibility that things may be bad, see the possibility that things may be good, but work with what you know. And as you go on, you will know more. So work with logic, work with reality. And don't ignore the emotions. The emotions are also one more factor. It's a reality. If somebody is feeling sad, they are feeling sad. So you can include them, you can win them over, you can help them. Similarly for yourself, don't ignore your own emotions. So which brings us to P of happiness. My God, this is going slow. Happy is positivity. Let me go a little faster. I'll tell you something that happened when I was 10 years old. I was sitting on a sofa in front of my grandmother, who I said something negative. My grandmother comes from a Hindu belief system. And I said something negative. I said, I can't do this. This is very difficult for me. She said, don't say that. I said, why? She said, in the Antariksh, there are 33 crore Devi Devtaye. Those of you who are not from India and those who don't understand Hindi. She said, according to her Hindu belief, there are 33 million gods and goddesses in the sky, or forms of gods and goddesses in the sky, because it's also monotheistic in a way, but pluralistic, not polytheistic. But that's another discussion for another day. The point is, she said, there are so many gods in the sky, and whenever you say something, they will say tathastu, which means so be it, or that will happen. So they will bless you and it will happen. So if you say, I cannot do it, they will bless you and it will happen. I said, oh my God, holy cow, I said, it was appropriate at that time. And I said that, what if I say something positive? She said, listen, whether you say negative or positive, they will bless you and they will make whatever you say happen. Since that day, I've been saying positive things and great things have been happening in my life. Whenever things go wrong, I tell myself it could have been worse, and I learned something from it. The idea is only to keep your mind focused on positivity. Even in Islam, it is said that in the Holy Quran, it is written that in 24 hours, there comes a shan, a moment, that when you say something, Khuda says kubul hai, which means it will happen. The trick is that we don't know at what point of time in those 24 hours that moment will come. So the message again is always be positive, regardless of which religion, which philosophy. All of them are telling us, think positive, be positive, say positive things, do positive things. The problem is not in the religions. The problem is not in the philosophy. Problem is in our application. Information is not enough for transformation. Information with implementation creates transformation. Even in the Holy Bible, it is said that as you so shall you reap. So if you think positive things will happen. If you say positive things, be positive. This is the whole thing. But the big question comes, how to be positive. I give you 3 ways to be positive. Number 1 is change your focus. Number 1 is get more clarity. Number 3 is change your language. Okay. First one I spoke to you about. The third one I spoke to you about, which is change your language. Next time somebody asks you, how are you? Don't say fine. Don't say I'm okay. Say fantastic. It's what? It will shake the whole thing. Enthusiasm has to be energy that you spread all around you. And only when you spread energy around you, that's when you can win over hearts. And the first question Shagufta asked was, how can you take people along with you? Not have empathy. Don't have sympathy. Sympathy is one person looking down on the other. Empathy is feeling what the person feels. But along with the empathy, I'm saying have objectivity. If somebody is in the quicksand, don't have so much empathy that you go into the quicksand with them and go down with them. Have enough empathy to understand their plight. Be outside and help them to come out. Only somebody who's outside will be able to help you to come out of where you are, provided there is care and clarity. Both need to be there. Focus is a beautiful way to get positivity. Where focus goes, energy flows. I'd like you to do a little activity, please. How did I get someone who came on with me live? You remember, Shagufta, you came on with me live. Is it possible for you to do that?
Yes, sir. I can come live if you want me to
You
come
can
live
come
right
live?
now. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let me bring you on live just to show a little demo. So it's a little different, yeah?
Yes, sir. 1 second.
Yeah, just as a demo, just for fun. Okay, I want to talk about focus right now, and then I will talk about clarity.
Yeah.
Shagufta, thank you very much. Can you put your hands together like this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now just check the base of your hand here like this. Yeah.
Yes,
Can they
sir.
see you also? Can they see you also? Everyone can see you?
I believe they can, sir.
Oh, good.
No, we can only see Avinash, sir.
Oh, okay. Then Shagufta, it doesn't matter.
So we all will repeat after you, sir.
No, you don't even have to repeat after me. I just want you to do something. I want all of you, whenever you want to do this, please. I want you to put the
Yes,
base
sir.
of your hand together like this, and
Yes,
then
sir.
then bring your hands together. And if you see the tips of your fingers, they are pretty much touching each other. Yeah, you see
Yes,
that?
sir.
Now what I want you to do is just drop the left hand and keep the right hand in front of you like this. All right, and this is your hand, right? You remember
Yes,
it's
sir.
your hand. So tell your hand to grow. Okay. This is just a fun exercise, okay? Don't take it seriously, guys. It's just for fun. Get the message seriously, okay? I'm telling you, if you keep on preaching, it's going to be boring. So I'm saying, tell your hand, grow. Okay, grow. And stretch your hand while you're saying it, okay? Go, grow. Shagul, this is not for you, okay? It's for everybody, all right?
Yes, sir.
Let's say grow. Now, as you say grow, and stretch your hands, stretch your fingers out. It's your hand. Come on, if you want to be a leader of your hand. Grow. Now, hold this hand up as it's stretched out. Hold it as stretched out and bring the same hand up and touch it over here and see the difference between that hand and this hand. Okay, you see this? This hand becomes bigger. Okay, this is just a fun exercise, but this is just for you to remember. I know you won't remember all the words that I say, but you'll remember the crazy things that we do. The point I'm saying is that whatever you focus on, that grows. If you focus on negativity, negativity will grow. If you focus on positivity, positivity will grow. But don't use this to make. It doesn't work to make everything grow. This is just for your mind. It's like, if you pay, emotional pain is normal. It happens to everybody. But emotional pain becoming suffering is usually self-perpetuated by your making it grow. Because we keep adding stuff to it and making it bigger and bigger. There was this guy who was in a bar, okay, drinking a soft drink. And he was complaining to his friend, I have such a lousy life. I have such a lousy wife. I have such a terrible workplace. I have such a bad boss. My children don't respect me. And he was complaining. And then he said, and then, you know what, my friend, the worst thing is my shoes are so tight that they're 2 sizes too tight. I walk 10 kilometers to work, walk 10 kilometers back every day, and it's so painful. So his friend said, listen, man, I know you cannot do anything about your wife and your boss and this, and many things in life are outside your control, but your shoes, come on, change your shoes at least. Get the shoes that are your size. He says, you are not my friend. He said, what? You are not my friend because you are the person who is telling me that I take off my shoes. You know that when I get back home, when I take off my shoes, after all the pain that I've had all my life, that is the only happiness that I get all day. And you are telling me to take that, you want to get rid of that happiness? You are not my friend. Now, I don't know if you got this, but the point I'm saying is that people hold on to sickness because they get attention. People hold on to negativity because that's the only way they can get some people to play rescuer. So stop playing victim. Start really being positive from the inside. And clarity gives positivity like nothing else. If you are in a dark room and somebody tells you, walk from one place to another, that's when you need motivation, speaking, you need courage, you need positivity. Why? Because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Yeah. When we don't know, we need all of this training. But if you switch on the light and you can see, if you know exactly where to go, where not to go, then you don't need all this stuff. You don't need courage, you don't need motivation, because you have clarity. Work on developing clarity. It's so powerful. The third P, H is harmony, A is awareness, P is positivity. I'll make it happy, okay? Because happiness was too much. Huh? So the next P is playful, positive, purposefulness. Playful purposefulness. You guys should do this exercise. Take a spoon, okay? And actually do this, man. I'd love if it was real, I would. This is virtual. If it was real, I would make you do it. Huh? Go home. Don't go now. After I finish, take a spoon, put some water on it. Huh? And hold that and walk around the house 3 times, okay? And come back and make sure that there is no water that is fallen down, okay? A king made the son of his friend, who was also a king. He mentored him. I have many young people who come to me for mentoring. I've been mentoring them for years on end, on the phone, online, and otherwise. Usually, it's better to be mentored by somebody who's not your father or not somebody very close to you. Then that objectivity comes in. So this one king sent his son to be mentored by another king, and that king gave him this exercise. He said, take the spoon, fill it with water, and go around the castle, go in the corridor, go check everything out, and come back to my place here. So the guy went, and make sure you don't drop anything. He came back very serious and he said, it's okay, I didn't drop anything. He said, but did you see that beautiful statue? He said, what statue? Did you see those birds there chirping? He said, what birds chirping? Did you see the lovely garden? He said, what lovely garden? He said, come on, you're a young man, you have to enjoy life. How can you be so stuck up and only focused on leadership and growing and learning? You got to enjoy life, celebrate, so you become a celebrity. He said, okay, I'll go. And he went, he saw, oh, what a beautiful statue, what a beautiful garden, what lovely flowers. He came back, he said, I had a great time. He said, where's the water? He said, oh, he's gone. You need both. You need playfulness and you need purposefulness simultaneously. What's the point living life and going for success and wanting happiness at the end of success? Your happiness should come today, because this happiness today will be the energy that takes you forward and makes you get the success faster. People love to be with happy people. People love to be with positive people. People don't like to be with people who are always negative. Remember, there are 2 types of people. There's positive people and there's negative people. If the positive people try to make the negative people positive, the negative people will make the positive people negative. So, because gravity is on the side of the negative people. So it takes courage to be on the top. If you are extra happy, you will make people jealous, but that's okay. Over a period of time, you will make them happy too. Why? I just converted it, so I'm adapting. Why is youthful energy? Youthful energy is, you are youthful anyway, but I'm saying please keep the youthful energy. Youthful energy is about being in the now. Youthful energy is don't worry about the future and don't be hurt about the past. Find a way to cleanse the past and find a way to clarify the future. And you can do this with good mentorship. Find good mentors. And if you need any help anytime, you can get in touch with me. Get in touch with me on social media. I'll send you my videos. And if you want to attend my courses, you're most welcome. Whenever I do a free program, you're most welcome. If you want to come for another program, if you want to become a motivational speaker, I'll be happy to help you. Anything. But there are many, many people who will help you. Help is HELP, high energy level participation. Get rid of your fear. Fear is FEAR. Forget everything and run. But fear should be FEAR. Face everything and respond. But how do you do that? You do that by taking charge of yourself. So why is youthful energy, or why could be even you? Be in the now, go for success, but go for success in a 360 degrees way. Inner world and outer world. Inner world is mind, body, spirit. Outer world is work, love or relationships, and money. Balance it out. Don't go too much into one area where you mess up all the other areas. I think life is fantastic. Would you like me to end, or would you like me to take some questions and then end?
So we would like to ask a few questions to you before you end the session.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we have a few questions from our viewers. So a lot of times we get so jealous of people and we are so engrossed in that negative feeling that we forget about the concept of empathy. We forget about the concept of collaborative efforts and rising while we push others. So what do you have to say about this? Just your personal feelings.
My personal feelings are aligned with my personal thinkings. Jealousy is real emotion. Emotion comes from the Latin word immovere, which means to disturb. So most emotions disturb. There are 52 negative emotions. Jealousy is one of them. There are two ways to handle it. One is, there's no point giving lectures. Don't be jealous. You are also very good. That is boring. Nobody believes that. The point I'm making is to remind yourself that there is too much fakeness out there. And to remind yourself that most of the people who look happy on social media are faking it. Most of them are projecting something that they're not. And it's more powerful to focus on, it is too much to expect collaboration. I'm saying first you need to eliminate the jealousy. See, it's like first things first. Vivekananda said, teach a young boy to play football instead of teaching him Bhagavad Gita. Vivekananda said that. That first, at a different age, at a different stage, you got to learn what's practical at that stage. So if a person is jealous or if a person is anxious, it is very irrational to tell the person you need to be collaborative and all. First, you need to get rid of that anxiety. And the way to get rid of the anxiety is to build self-esteem. To build this whole spirit and belief system of not comparing with anybody else, because each human being is in fact unique. But the whole society, whole advertising industry, everything is based on comparison. They say, see what I have, you don't have it. And then there's the haves and the have-nots and everybody wants to have it. The important thing is to figure out a way to get comfortable with who you are. And remember that who you are is perfect, but what you have and what you do is not yet perfect. The drop of the ocean has all the same qualities as the entire ocean, but the drop is not yet the ocean. So you need to work on yourself to get, if you want to get money like the other person does, it's like the cards that you are dealt. Maybe you are dealt with bad cards, which is a reality, but you need to play the game well for you to win. And it's possible to win even if you're dealt bad cards. So look at the potential of working on yourself so that you shine, so that you don't have to be, because it's about changing your focus from the other to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. This brings me to my next question. So how do we actually believe in ourselves, Well, a lot of times we struggle to believe in ourselves and we think maybe we're just gonna keep looking at ourselves in a very biased manner. But
Sure.
we forget to positively look at ourselves.
Sure. This is extremely important. I'll give you a shlok. Amantaram aksharo nashti malam anaushadam ayogya purusharo nashti yojika satra durlava. And let me explain because I don't think you got it. Amantaram aksharo nashti means there is not a single letter of the alphabet which does not have the potential of making a mantra out of it or a holy hymn. Amantaram aksharo nashti malam anaushadam. There is not a single root of a plant from which a medicinal herb cannot be made according to Ayurveda Charakacharya. There is not a single individual who does not have the potential for greatness. Yojaka Satta Durlabham, what is required is an individual who can get, you need, what is rare, what is nayab, is an individual who can actually make that mantra from the alphabet. What is rare is the person who can actually make the medicine from the herb. The person who is rare is one who can actually get the greatness out of the individual. So what you must find is such an individual, because that is who is a mentor or a guru. I briefly watched Dr. Radhakrishnan also speaking, saying that you need to look for somebody who resonates with you and who you can learn from. See, you cannot get out of a box If you don't know you are in a box, and the instructions to get out of the box are outside the box, somebody outside has to read it out to you for you to come out. So if you don't believe yourself, please believe somebody who knows, and who is telling you something positive. So for example, I'm telling you right now, all the 8,000, 9,000 people, if you are youngsters, believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, believe in me believing in you. I believe that every human being has tremendous potential for greatness. They just need the right environment and the right people and the right situations and the right knowledge and right beliefs to be able to bring out that greatness from within them. Yeah. If you haven't found it yet, you have to hold on to something. So believe my belief, please, is what I would suggest to you. Another practical way of doing it, if you don't want to believe anybody, sit down and make a list of all your strengths. And sit down and make a list of your weaknesses, and look at your weaknesses also and convert them into strengths. For example, if you're stubborn as hell, being stubborn about the right things is good. Be stubborn about honesty. Don't be stubborn about stupid things, for example. Okay, so it's all about how you see. The way you see the way you see things will change. So it's about perspective, but it's best helped by somebody from outside.
Yes, sir. I think those words were truly inspirational.
If you finish, I'd like to tell a closing story, please.
Sorry, sir?
If you finish the question, I'd like to tell a closing story. If you have any more questions, I'll answer that.
Yes,
and then tell a closing story.
just another question, sir.
Sure.
So, how can we channel our thoughts in the right direction? This is one question that we all have.
3 things. I mentioned it earlier, but I will get more clear about it, just to make it simple. Affirmations. Okay? Talk to yourself positively. Don't tell yourself you are an idiot. Okay? We have enough other people telling us. For example, I'm just saying, research suggests that well-meaning parents and teachers tell children 180,000 times in their life that they are stupid, good for nothing, they compare them with other people. No wonder people, and they have nothing, there's nothing wrong. They don't mean any harm, but they think they're developing the kids. So I'm saying, don't add to the people who tell you negative things. At least you be your own best friend. Speak positive things to yourself. This is one way. Okay. The second way is change your focus from negative to positive. If anything goes wrong in life, tell yourself it could have been worse. Okay. Comparison is terrible, but if you compare yourself for somebody who's worse off than you, you might feel a little better at that moment of time. You may develop some gratitude, which will give you some energy to keep on keeping on. It's called Coco formula. Keep on keeping on, keep on keeping on. In Hindi, I call it Lage Raho, LR formula. So first thing is language. Second thing is focus. The third thing is physiology. Deep breathing. If you breathe in deep, you get energy. If you breathe out deep, you get relaxation. If you go play some game, sport, use your body a little more, because you'll change the biochemistry and you'll be able to get yourself. I'm giving you these 3 ways of self-motivation without any guru, without any teacher, without attending any seminar. You need to tell yourself positive things. You need to change your focus from negative to positive, and you need to do something with your body, because motion creates emotion. Don't do too much motion, that's lose motion. The important thing is to create energy through movement, right? Through deep breathing, through physiology affects psychology. These are 3 ways I would suggest to get positive instantly. Any other questions?
So we just have one last question. This question has been repeating. For people who have not found their passion or ambition, what would you say to them?
I would say search. They call it research, remember, because you search again and again. I would say take what you have that is given to you as an opportunity and excel in it. I want you to focus on this word excellence, please. It's an overused, sometimes abused word. But Martin Luther King said this. He said, not I have a dream, he said that also. But he said that if one is called upon to be a street sweeper, one must sweep streets, just as Michelangelo sculpts, or Da Vinci paints, or as Mozart composes music. One must sweep streets so well that the heavens and the earth proclaim that here lives a great street sweeper. The point is that every single thing you do it with excellence. If it is helping out at home, do it with excellence. If it is helping your mother to put on the TV, for example, if the situation is apt, okay, or to figure out something on the thing. Don't say, I did it, now you do it on your own. See it through the end. Don't do things just because other people are telling you to do it. Don't find loopholes. Do something because you want to do it and do it excellently. Even if that thing that you're doing right now is nothing great, it's no passion. But if you do it beautifully, at least you will get the passion of doing things passionately. Tomorrow, when you get something that is your passion, you will do that also passionately. You will do that with excellence. Are you with me? Develop. It's not about what is your passion. It is about learning to love to learn. It is about learning to be excellent at everything you do, because things are changing. Things are changing so fast that today you think something is your passion, tomorrow something else will come up. Also, if you're going to do business, for example, tomorrow, don't be picky, don't be choosy. Whatever comes to you, remember I gave you the tie story. Buy the ties, man. You don't know when it's going to be useful for you tomorrow. Learn that thing which I'm telling you, which comes in front of you. It's like, one guy asked me, he says, I don't understand all this motivation stuff. He says that he gave me an analogy. He said, I'm just a pebble on the beach full of pebbles, and I don't even have place to move. You're talking about make choices. My mother, my father, my this, my that, my teacher, nobody's allowing me to move. I said, wherever you are, move. If you move where you are, you will be hitting against everybody and you will start shining, and the diamond inside you will come out, and somebody somewhere will notice that diamond and pick you up. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, because you don't know when opportunity will come. Luck is L-U-C-K, labor, which is work, under channelized knowledge. Work on channelizing your knowledge. Work on whatever you have with excellence. Your passion will come. This is a very American or very westernized concept that you must follow only your passion. Man, if you're running business, for example, remember, even in your passion, you need to learn finance. Suppose you say, no, I don't like finance. I like only dealing with people. You have to learn things which are not your passion also. How to make anything into your passion should be more powerful than only looking for your passion. All right. And today you can be a Renaissance person. You can do 10 things brilliantly. Maximize your potential. You see, Inception, when they were sleeping, the time moved slower. That means that when, I'm not telling you to sleep, but I'm saying when the mind is optimal, then you can do much more. So work on optimizing your mind, work on excellence in everything you're doing, work on learning the maximum, work on being yourself and aligning yourself, you will be happy. I answered the question.
Yes, sir. I think this was
I wonder what you said.
Inspirational and enriching for us. You may proceed with the story.
Thank you so much for the green signal. My last story, guys. I hope you remember. H was harmony, A was awareness, P is positivity, P was playful purposefulness, and Y is youthful energy or focus on yourself. Y was answering all these questions. Now, I end with a story, and my story is about a man who used to deliver, a wise old man who used to deliver a sermon at the top of the mountain. This story is from the Upanishads, by the way. He used to deliver a sermon on the top of the mountain, and all the villagers used to sit around and listen to them and listen to him. And after a while, it was not so much about a speech. It's not about the stories or the jokes of the speech. It's about the energy and the transmission of energy, positive energy. But in every audience, there is always somebody or the other who thinks he knows more than the speaker. Every audience. In all my 30 years of teaching over 500,000 people, this is my realization. There's always somebody who thinks he knows more. Okay? And that person has intelligence, but intelligence is not enough because they focus their intelligence on finding fault rather than focusing their intelligence on learning more or transmitting more. This guy in the audience, he came up with a plan to show that this speaker, he just gives some nice stories and everything, but this effect will not last. So he comes up with this idea. And he comes up with the idea, he takes a little bird in his hand and he goes to the guy. The idea is this, that he will go to him and tell him, you are a wise man, tell me what's in my hand. The guy will say it's a bird, then he'll say, tell me, is it alive or dead? If the guy says it's alive, you will kill the bird. I don't recommend it, it's a story. He will kill the bird and he will show that he is wrong. And if the guy says that the bird is dead, he will open his hand and allow the bird to fly out, proving he is wrong. If you decide to not believe somebody, if you decide to not learn something, If you decide that you cannot do it, nobody can help you. Okay? But if you're open, you have enough people who are willing to help you. This guy, picture the scene, the last story I buy after this. The sun is setting. The breeze is blowing. Gentle breeze is blowing. The man's white beard is flowing in the breeze. No? There's a twinkle in his eyes, smile on his lips, and there's magic in the air. And everybody's enjoying it except for this one guy who's got this scheme in his mind and the bird in his hand. And he goes there and he says, "You call yourself a wise man." He says, "I don't call myself. Other people do." And he smiles. Remember I told you, master smile. He says, "Tell me what's in my hand." He says, "It's a bird." He says, "Tell me, is it alive or is it dead?" The wise man looks at him, smiles. He looks at the audience, he looks at him. And he says, "It is what you wish it to be. It's in your hands." Similarly, friends, if I can call you that by now, whatever I've shared with you, it's in your hands. You can do with it what you wish to do with it. Don't settle for less than what you can be. Make your life the masterpiece it deserves to be. No one is less or more than anyone else. All of this stuff can be learned. Happiness can be learned. Happiness can be maintained. Happiness can be grown. Learn it, keep it, and spread it. You know, we have COVID, which is viral. My mission is make happiness go viral. And it cannot happen unless each one of us does our bit. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. And I'm done.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I feel more energized after this session. I feel very positive about myself and more aware, of course. So that was really great, sir. I can't express how I feel at this point. I wish it was a physical session, but nonetheless, it was great, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. They could probably be in touch with me on Instagram, Leadership and Happiness Guru, or even visit my website for more courses. If there's any way in which I can help you guys, I'll be very happy to. Thank you very much.
Sure,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you
Avinash
so much.
sir. Thank you, Avinash sir. There is a very good message that has come for you from a very seasoned Rotarian, and he says that it is very interesting and very practical session that we all have attended, and we've crossed 9,500 viewers mark with your session.
Lovely. Imagine if these 9,500 people go and make at least 5 other people or 10 other people happy. Huh?
Yes.
At least today. That'll be good, man. We'll be making happiness go viral. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.